Our first step is going to be to cut the OEM driveshaft carrier off. Begin by cutting the mounting tab from the driver's side of the frame. Then unbolt it from the body and it should come free. Unbolt the other side in order to rotate the bearing around. Make 2 cuts, one on each side of the carrier frame. If you preferred more room to cut your carrier out, lowering the exhaust down will free up space. We chose to keep ours in. Now use a razor blade to cut all the way around and remove the frame from the rest of the bearing. If you have a facelift SG Forester, use the following steps. Cut the excess rubber from the lip at the front of the bearing. Feel around the back of the bearing for where it feels softer, and make a cut vertically inwards, starting there, and go all the way around in order to cut all the rubber rearward of the bearing. Then cut the raised portion of rubber all the way around to be flush with the rest of the bearing, leaving the base layer of rubber intact. Your bearing should look like this when you're done. If you have an SF or pre-facelift SG Forester, use the following steps. Feel around the front of the bearing for where it feels softer and make a cut here, vertically inward, all the way around in order to cut all of the rubber in front of the bearing. Cut the raised portion of rubber all the way around to be flush with the rest of the bearing, leaving the base layer of rubber intact. Your bearing should look like this when you're done. The rest of the process is the same for all generations. Now install the new carrier. Take the top half, put the bushing in it, and put it over top of the bearing with the text facing the front of the vehicle. Then bring the bottom half up to meet it, and connect the two together using the provided Allen bolts. As you tighten the bolts, switch back and forth from left to right so the bolts don't bind in the holes. A small gap may form between the two bushings. This is normal. Now to mount it to the car, take your bolt, put a fender washer on it, an isolation damper facing up, go up into the carrier, bring another isolation damper down from the top, and then put your small washer on the very top. Loosely thread it into the body. Same thing on the other side, bolt, fender washer, isolation damper, but this time slide your second isolation damper and small washer on the top of the carrier first. Then place the bolt up through the carrier. Thread it into the body and tighten them each to 19 Newton meters and enjoy your new JXB Driveshaft Carrier.